Uh, and good morning, everybody. We are on the air finally. I
Good
think
morning.
my Lenovo desktop
Morning,
needs to be
Debbie.
unjunked. Good morning, Debbie. Nice to see you. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. It is October 6th, 2018, and the fall is not in the air yet, but having a little bit of this vegan carrot cake today makes me think more and more of fall and the holiday season. Morning, Missy Jen. Nice to have
Morning,
you along.
Rosica.
Missy Jen's happy when she gets up a day and she walks into the kitchen on a Saturday, and it's like it never happened. It
Hello,
never happened.
Tammy
Hey,
and
Mama. Nice to
Mama.
see you, Tammy. Good morning, honey.
And
Good morning,
Jill.
Jill. How are you, sweetie pie? Nice to see you. Always a pleasure to see the Jill girl, Misdemeanor. How you doing, sweetie pie? You can see our cake. We'll be doing a better thumbnail. I do have a nice thumbnail pic to go up for that. So it really turned out to be it's an extremely heavy cake. Nice that we made well, we'll talk about some of the components of this cake because we were going until 6 a.m., about 5:30 a.m. on the East Coast last night. It was a very long hangout, about 6 hours, but we had a blast. There was a lot of people on last night, and we raised some money for lupus, real importantly. And I want to give a special shout out to, a lot of people donated. I know my sweetheart Debbie did, Sid's Angels, Debbie Davis. Morning, Harvey. Hi, Kitty.
Hi, Harvey and Kitty.
Donated, which I appreciate because that's the kind of person Debbie Davis is. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, and we love her.
We love her
very much.
And then Pam, shoot the shit. Okay, thank you, Misdemeanor. Then Pam, shoot the shit, comes through with $1,000 donation to lupus research. I mean, wow. What do I feel cheap? That's really, really awesome of all you guys to do that. Any little bit that we do is a positive thing on YouTube. I always tell Missy Jen, many's the night I feel like getting on there and just railing, and just unloading the 88 millimeter cannons and just going on it. But the next day, I'm always glad I did. And I'm always very happy when we do something positive.
Hi, Jody.
Good morning, Joe.
Joey.
Joey D is going to be in the house tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Coming up, we will be live streaming the making of lasagna tomorrow and a nice big Italian loaf. So we're going to have a nice full-on salad, a nice Italian loaf, and some nice lasagna tomorrow.
That's right. Joey D will be in the house.
Woo. Yeah, we had so much fun last night. We always do. Hey, Mark, how are you? Mark Sark's Aquarium's here. Nice to see you, Mark. Good morning, Kevin Chambers. Hope you're feeling okay after hurting your wrist there.
It was a pleasure to see you, Kevin.
Yep, Kevin Chambers in the house. Yeah, we had a good time last night, and today in about an hour or so I'll be taking Missy Jen over. We'll be going to the Sonoma County Harvest Fair, which is the typical celebration of all things having to do with harvest, from award-winning pies and baked goods to, and one of these years I'll have to submit something to the fair. Get me a blue ribbon, huh? Get me a blue ribbon.
Make an apple pie or something. Yeah. Win it. You'll be in it to win it.
In it to win it, baby. So we'll be probably live streaming that for a couple hours today. So I think that'll be a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, that's right.
And you know what? I got to pay the admission, and you don't. And you get to go along, and you get to see. I hope we get good signal inside the building. You wouldn't want to miss the people that go to the fairs demonstrating the amazing cookware that you can get. I love those guys. I love those guys that sit there, stand there with their little headset on, and they're talking about their amazing cookware, and they got the people sitting in the seats out there, right?
Yeah, this, and then that. Oh, yeah, crock pot here. You don't need no grease, no lube, no oil, no nothing. You just throw your vegetables in here, slap that pot, the lid on, and cook it. Turn that knob on 3 and walk away.
Chicken feet are really tasty, Debbie Davis. I'm just saying. Just remember, they call me the goat of YouTube. Why? Because I eat anything. Okay. I don't care what it is. I'll eat it. Andrew Zimmerman's got nothing on me. Okay. That stuff is not cheap either. That's right, Kevin Chambers. When you go to look at that cookware at fairs and things like that, look, they got to keep that geek up there talking about it for 3 days at each fair, and then he goes on the next. Hi, Janice. How are you, sweetie? Let's talk about this cake. I think a lot of people were surprised how nice the cake turned out coming out of the form. One of the things that makes a vegan cake is you can't use any dairy. We can't use any eggs or dairy, so it makes particularly challenge.
No dairy.
Particularly challenging for that regard, because when you go to make even something as simple as the icing on top, when you go to do something as simple as that, you automatically reach for the butter, but you can't, right? You got to work around it. So what do? You take some almond milk, a little bit of almond milk, some brown sugar, get that wetted together really well, and then add some powdered sugar in there, a little bit of cornstarch, and you got yourself a hell of a nice glaze. Mrs. Zombie, hope you did well last night.
Yeah.
Mrs. Zombie was live streaming.
You looked really good.
Yeah, beginning of her.
That was really nice.
Working at the haunted house last night. You look good, Mrs. Zombie.
Yeah.
And remember, Mrs. Zombie, I always got my eye on.
That's right. The Rosie girl got you staked out.
I've had haluska, yes. I'd like to make it sometime, Janice. With challah bread. So, Mrs. Zombie, yeah, they're always like, oh, I can't believe Rosie came over to my stream. Of course I did. You're doing better shit than I do. I mean, Jan will tell you that's Rosie. Every stream she goes into, they're doing better shit than she does. Why wouldn't she be there? From craft beer pours to Mrs. Zombie to Lisa Yarborough to Debbie Davis. Oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm running 3 rooms this year. You know what, Mrs. Zombie? I should be running 3 rooms at the cat house, at the kitty cat club. Just ask Debbie. Hey, how you doing, Jack Sparrow? Nice to see you. I'll give you a nice slice. I don't think you're a vegan, but I'll tell you what. I think it turned out really super. So in a couple minutes, we're going to test that. You have a good day. You and Lisa. Jack, hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, Original Al, nice to see you. Well, 200 attendees to the haunted house, and that's going to only pick up double probably as we get closer. Now, next Saturday, we ain't going to be sitting here on Saturday morning. Why? Because we're going to be having some live stream fun from the road on our way to San Diego.
Tom will be living here for a whole week, enjoying the life in the city away from the valley.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to be on the road. Make sure you subscribe to the Rosie Murphy channel, because a lot of live stream travel vids are going to be on there. Okay, don't want to miss that. I'm hoping my GoPro Hero 7 shows up. Judy, nice to see you, honey. So we're going to have a week in San Diego, and you guys are going to be along. We're going to be seeing Tara, hanging out with Tara.
And you're going to see Rosie, the Baywatch baby.
Baywatch.
Dun, 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 dun. I
So
don't know the
filming
melody.
again, be running on the
I
beach.
don't know the melody for it because I never.
Oh,
I hated
be
Baywatch.
there. We'll have a good time down there. All of our dinners, things like that. Breakfast, we'll have you guys along. Be a good time. You'll be visiting California with us, Original Al. To make sure you're on the Rosie Murphy channel too. You don't want to miss any of the fun.
Oh, tell everybody
Or the Jen and Rosie
the
reality.
news about the guy that at the cliff that we go to.
Oh, you know that overlook we go to here on Bodega Bay. Another guy fell off the cliff there 70 feet to his death, unfortunately, down on the rocks. You got to be careful. NorCal, hey Chicago, NorCal is nothing
Yeah, once
like
a year.
SoCal. The beaches, there are no beaches out
Once a year we go up to Bodega Bay up there.
over on the big overlook, and we get the view of the mighty
It's called
Pacific.
the Bodega Bay
The Bodega
Head.
Head. It's an overlook. People use it for whale watching out there. But some guy just ran up real quick to the front and just said the sand gave way under his foot, right down 70 feet.
I remember I walked right by
Hit
the
the fucking
edge.
rocks. Okay, take care, Kevin. Hello, Brian.
Good luck with your doctor's appointment, Kevin.
So we'll have a lot of fun. Y'all like to see Tara and stuff, and she's a sweet. Yeah, El Cajon. Yeah. I used to play. If you lived in El Cajon, Tammy Sims, then you remember the Palomar Club up there.
Hello.
It was a card club up there.
Daddy.
Right? Poker club up there in El Cajon called the Palomar Club. They shut it down because they were ripping everybody. I kind of knew they were ripping people off, the dealers in the house and shit, but it was still a fun place, low key, to hang out, play some cards. Up there in El Cajon, up Texas Street, right over the hill. And you know what I'm talking about. Hi, Janice. Nice to see you this morning. Great videos on Fenwick, Assateague Island. I don't know if you got into Ocean City proper or not. Looked around. That's a pretty. Hey, New. Nice to see you. New Sonnet. Nice to see you, sweetie. Janice says, just got home from Kentucky and Tennessee. I love it. Rented a cabin on the mountains by Galveston. That's beautiful. Well, I got family out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Asheville, North Carolina.
I'm here in Lily Park.
Oh, no, here's Domino. Oh, boy. Morning, Domino. This is like Eddie Haskell.
Good morning, Domino.
What are you doing? Come here. Don't be knocking that cake over. Oh, man. Big dog alert. What are you doing today, huh? What are you doing? Oh, boy. Look who's here. Oh.
He must have just woke up.
Oh, he just woke up in time to begin his day next door. You ever watch Leave It to Beaver? This is like Eddie Haskell, right? Gee,
when I hear Millie Vanilli barking, then I know that the next thing you hear is the door open. And
gee, Mrs. Cleaver, you look lovely today.
Walking in.
Thank you, Eddie. Gee, Mrs. Cleaver, something smells really good in the house today. Yes, Eddie, I'm making something nice for the boys' dad tonight. Wow, I wish my mom could cook like that. Gee, I'm really hungry, Mrs. Cleaver. Okay, Eddie, would you like to stay? Thank you, Mrs. Cleaver. This is what Domino is. Domino, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing? Are you happy, boy? Huh? You better not muck with my cake. All right, take care, Jack. Thank you. Jesus, is that right? Gee, Mrs. Cleaver, those are really lovely pearls you have. Thank you, Eddie. I'm hungry. Eddie, would you like to stay for dinner? Gee, thank you, Mrs. Cleaver. Isn't that what you are, Domino? You better look at me, huh?
This one here is the orange MS.
What are you doing? Huh?
The MS tattoo, and it has hope tattooed into it.
That's her MS, multiple sclerosis. So.
Yep. Orange for the MS.
Oh, take the lipstick right off of me, man. All right, let's talk about this cake for a couple. We have a visitor who keeps on coming. So, yeah, dogs are pure love. So, I mean, we're pretty happy. It gives Jen and it gives Georgie. Georgie's a very social dog, so it gives him some fun too. Ain't that right, Georgie? Huh? Now, we're going to go ahead and cut this cake. Remember, this cake has no dairy in it. It has no eggs. It has no butter. It has no oil. Okay? How does it derive its texture? It's got 6 carrots grated up inside of it. Okay, that adds sweetness. This is probably good if you're constipated. This is probably the cake for you. Okay, you have a slice of this every morning. I guarantee you'll be flowing smooth like Niagara Falls, baby. Oh, don't touch that.
Yeah, when I got that done, what's really nice is they can put the shades and stuff in and make it almost like a 3D kind of.
Don't you be looking at that cake.
So
You be looking at that cake.
Make sure you get in whatever color it is.
What are you
I'm
doing?
thinking about getting another one with the cancer.
You better move away there now.
Because my dad.
You're gonna muck that cake up. If you knock this up, don't lick that cake. Do not lick that cake. Do not lick that cake. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, this is not for you. Okay? It's not for you. So pack it out, my friend. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut a piece of the cake now. We got stuff to do and places to go today. Don't forget, we're going to be live streaming from the Harvest Fair. Hazel, hi, sweetie. Hi, side chat slut. Nice to see you.
Hi,
Simply
Hazel.
Pineapple. Nice to see you. Tried to unblock. Had a lot of people get on the block list and stuff, so I got a lot of people off of that. So every time before I go live, I'll always make sure to check the block list and make sure everybody's removed on there. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut a piece of the cake. I'll give Missy Jen a nice piece here. This is a very dense cake, okay? Uses whole wheat flour. Here's what a piece looks like. It's got dried currants in there. Just give you guys a look at the texture and everything on that. It's got a lot of spice in it. Set Missy Jen up with that. I'll give you a napkin in a second, okay?
Thank you.
Take that right there. And we'll give Missy Jen the first whirl on that. Hazel, how you doing today? Oh, man. There you go. We'll let Missy Jen, as my grandma used to say, we'll let Missy Jen get a purchase on a piece of that cake. Go get a purchase on that. Give that a try. Now, it's going to be a different eating experience. But the thing is very low calorie because it doesn't have any oils or fats of any kind in it. So what you're going to get is a spice cake, basically, with currants and carrots in there. So
yeah, I really like this. It's it is definitely spicy. It takes a little bit for the spice to come through.
Yeah, Prancer says, I'm vegan. I would love it. I think that you probably would.
At first, you have a little hint of.
Okay, take care. Go have a good breakfast.
And then now it's like.
Joe King, how you doing, hon? How you doing, hon?
The spices are starting to come through.
Spices starting to come through.
It's interesting. It's different from anything I've ever eaten.
The sweetness is good because you got to understand this is whole wheat. There's hardly any white flour. There's 5/8 of a cup of white flour instead of soy flour. You're 1/4 of a cup of soy flour. It uses 2 cups of sugar. Okay, but it doesn't have any oil in it, so it's not amazingly
It's not
sweet.
really. It's not really sweet.
Because brown sugar's molasses and sugar together.
It's actually just right. It's not sweet or anything. But usually when you get a carrot cake or something,
What are you?
it's always sweet.
What are you doing? Huh? What
This
are you
actually
doing?
tastes
Huh?
just like.
What are you doing? Huh? Oh boy, you're so heavy. Nice to see you, Sean. Good morning.
More like spice
And
than
hello
sugar.
to Joe King out there.
It's very interesting. It's just something like I've never experienced before.
Joe King still looks like Yako to me. If they'd served that to Joe King in the army, he would have taken that cook, pulled that cook forward behind the counter, taken that cake and smashed that in. Huh? Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to cut myself a piece. Don't forget, we're going to be live streaming this afternoon from the Harvest Fair here. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope we get good signal inside. You definitely want to see the guy humping the cookware, right, Jen? That's the whole damn show right there.
Mhm.
And if you purchase today, we're going to throw in 2 frying pans, a 12-inch and a 10-inch frying pan. Triple clad stainless steel.
They're not getting cheap. They give you a plastic ladle. You get a free plastic ladle.
Where the hell did that go? Right down my titties there. Good morning, Uber Goober lady. Nice to see you. Have an experiment with aquafaba. No, I haven't done that, Ms. Pudwina.
Lady.
I'd like to try that. Once again, for those of you who just joined.
Hi, Coop.
Hey, Koopy, this has currants, dried currants in it, as well as carrots. You can never see the carrots in a carrot cake, and that's a good thing. And it's glazed with almond milk, brown sugar, a little bit of starch, and some confectioner's sugar there. Okay. No oil, no fats, no butter. Strictly vegan, 100% of the way. Thank you, Uber Goober lady. Hope you're feeling good today. My Uber Goober was on a roll yesterday.
It's definitely something I would recommend for Christmas. It's a good Christmas cake.
No spices, boom.
Yeah,
A clove.
yeah, first you get the carrot flavor, and then the spices will kick in.
I feel like good, Uber Goober. Uber Goober was on a roll, and Uber Goober, I was sitting there at my desk in Sacramento. It's Sutter Hospital in the consultant's office there. And I was watching your hangout. And Uber Goober said, I want to, I spit my coffee out all over the keyboard. I want to, somebody. I know, Uber, you were, I mean, you were, woo, girl, you were bringing the heat yesterday. My friend's sitting there in the office. We have this one office suite that we're allowed to use. People that don't work for the hospital, but work for companies that do subcontract. And that coffee went out all over that keyboard, sitting there.
Hi, Sean.
I laughed my ass off. Yeah, don't get that way too often. You know what, Uber Goober, but you should. You should make that like a Friday thing, right? Unwinding Friday with the Uber Goober. Okay, perfect. You too. Yeah, Uber Goober should have
a great day. Perfect.
Call it the Friday tee off, Uber. You know, everything that you bottle up from the week, just let it fly. Let it fly. All right. Now, what can I say about this cake? What I can say about this cake is immediately cut the amount of cloves in half. Because I've always told Jen and I've told everybody else, Berg started the methadone claim. I'm going to be an aunt. That's right. Auntie Rosie. Cloves are so super powerful. Reduce the cloves by half and add a proportional amount of nutmeg to this cake. And I would serve this cake to you made like that, and you would not be able to tell it's a vegan cake. True or not, Jen? You wouldn't even be able to tell that it's a vegan cake. You wouldn't miss the oil. You don't miss the butter.
I wouldn't even know now that
You wouldn't
it's a
even know.
vegan cake.
I'm just saying the clove is very powerful. The cake is surprisingly moist. You know why, Uber
It's
Goober?
moist, yeah.
Because it uses brown sugar. And brown sugar with the molasses has a moist component to it. Plus, it has 6 carrots that are grated. This is an incredibly moist cake here. And it's going to have a good shelf. Doesn't have to be refrigerated. I think there's no oils, there's no eggs, there's nothing to really go bad. Deborah Daly, nice to see you, honey. The current. As the boy turns, that's right. Coopy's like, I'll stick with this. Coopy, if I serve this to you, you would say, all right, that's applesauce. Bang, that's it.
Yeah, if you didn't know what it is, you'd eat it and you'd love it.
And you say, what's up, Doc? That's it. You know what? You serve this with some applesauce on top, and you got a total, complete victory. You got a hell of a cake.
Because I'd eat it the way it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but if you were going to amp it up a little
Amp
bit,
it up, yeah.
yeah, we have our own homemade applesauce we
That's
made
right.
with our apples from the rancho. Yeah, thank you. If you enjoy this stream, hit the thumbs up button. We'll be out there streaming this afternoon from the harvest. Be wheeling Missy Jen all around. We'll be having a good time over there, checking out all the harvest goodies. Yeah, it's a good cake. The only thing I would do is I would definitely dial back the clove on it because clove is so powerful.
Is that the spice?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's very powerful. But
Yeah,
it's
put the
still good.
applesauce in the cake. I can do that too, Mark. That's an idea too. Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Nope. Bobby, I don't think you're going to be ready. I'm making lasagna. I'm going to be live streaming making lasagna tomorrow and Italian bread. In the afternoon, Bobby, I don't think you're going to want to have a cake like this after lasagna. Okay.
Yeah, you'll be eating so much lasagna.
Hey, movie buff. And then a little later today, you can look forward to, we took Bobby out for his birthday for Friday night restaurant reviews. That'll be coming up today too. We took Bobby to his favorite restaurant last night, and we reviewed it again.
Nice to see you, Bobby.
I don't know if the cake might go with like a ginger beer, something like that. There's a lot of things that I would do to bury this cake. Thank you, Uber Goober Lady Love. I'm very honored whenever you're around. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite people on YouTube. Holly, good morning to you, honey. I got to see a whole nother side of Uber Goober Lady yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
My favorite line. Right. My favorite line. Uber Goober's like, it might take a little doing to get those legs up. My friend sitting next to me in the office, he's like, what did she say? I said, what you think she said? She just said. I mean, you talk about 2018 highlight reel on YouTube. That son of a bitch is right there. Okay, that is.
Yeah, somebody needs to make an uncut highlight reel, 60 minutes long.
Oh, she has a wild side, all right. I couldn't even believe it. Mm, mm. Well, Bonnie's like, I like people with zero filter. Mm. Yeah, he'll be back for lunch. That's
Oh,
right.
he's laying
Hi,
behind,
Michelle.
he's laying behind me.
Nice to see you, honey.
He's begging for a belly rub. I can feel
Yeah, you
one
should
of his
definitely take
claws.
Uber Goober to the kitty cat room. Absolutely. I think even Savage is recovering from the kitty cat room. Hmm? Well, I think the cake turned out very good.
Yeah, excellent.
This will last all week for put a little you butter up a piece of this in the morning if you want to violate your vegan oath, and you have a really nice coffee cake.
It'll last about 3 days.
Yeah, nice to see Elmo. Give her another slice.
Would you make it again?
Would I make it again? I would make it again, and I would tweak it radically. This is a very eatable cake right now, but I would do some things. I would dial back the clove. I would add a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I would add a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and I would have a more balanced spice profile in there, so you wouldn't be able to really pick out any one particular flavor. The ginger would give it a little bit of mouth zing on the tongue and stuff, so add bacon.
Some ham and cheese.
Needs a strict screening policy. I'm willing to be the bouncer. Hey, Susie, how are you? Vegan means no butter. It means no dairy. No meat, no dairy.
Yeah, it's got no butter.
Yeah, vegan is no animal, nothing derived from an animal.
Yeah, no, nothing in it.
Okay. Very simple definition. If it came from an animal, if it had eyes and a mouth, it ain't going to be on a vegan menu. God help us if we find out that plants had feeling too and were screaming in pain all the time. Then what do we do?
Well, we know that plants are living organisms.
I have, Uber Goober lady, those fertile eggs. They have something in China called 1,000-year eggs. They're eggs that are fermented for a very long period of time. In the Philippines, they have something that's called balut, B-A-L-U-T-E. And balut is a partially, it's an embryo. It's a partially formed baby chicken in an egg. That's the real test when people come. And if you want to see if somebody's a real foodie, see if they'll eat a balut. Okay? If they'll eat a balut, they'll eat anything. I've been in China spent 5 years in China. I ate scorpion. I ate camel. I ate snake more times than you can shake a stick at. And you know what? I loved each and every food that I was ever given to eat. Mutton, bring it on.
I really like
I don't care.
comment. That was funny.
Sean the Brit's like, the hell with that.
If I'd have to do it again, hell yeah.
Durian fruit many times. Durian fruit, the stinkiest fruit on planet Earth. You get the center of it, it's creamy and delicious. But in Singapore, they don't even let you carry durian fruit on public transportation. Okay? That's it, Deborah Daly. So you look up balut, B-A-L-U-T-E. Take a good look at that on Google search. Images, delicious. Went down to Louisiana. What do we have, Jen? We had jalapeno alligator.
Yeah,
delicious.
The alligator tastes like chicken.
Delicious.
It's just like snake.
The cake is great, Beryl. The cake is wonderful. Wonderful. Uber Goober's like, it's like disgusting looking. Well, I can only say this: in 5 years in China, just after Tiananmen Square, I was one of the first Westerners to be allowed back in the country because I do speak fluent Chinese. A lot of people think that I worked for a government agency when I went over. I did not. But when I went over in 1991 and went all over China, and I mean every square inch of China.
I love you, Hazel.
Take care, Hazel.
Have fun at the garage sales. Hope you find something really nice for really cheap.
There was no refrigeration, but I never once got sick in 5 years. Shit, I haven't been sick. I've never missed a day of school or work, but I'm saying in China, I never got sick. They don't need refrigeration because they slaughter it in the morning, and it's on your table for lunch or dinner. Jason Bourne. When your company can pig feed, milk and eggs are a great thing. Well, you know, you've got to understand, Koopy. Koopy's a big boy. He's a big Southern boy, so it takes a lot to feed him. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of
You know, Koopy sits down at the
night.
Waffle House. He's ordering on the left side of the menu. Okay, the flagship stuff, the triple waffle baconator over there. All right, 3 eggs, 3 full waffles, right? A slab of bacon, and a smile on the waitress's face when she sits that son-of-a-bitch down in front of you. Morning, Koopy. I got your usual breakfast here. How are you, baby? He's like, don't try to feed me no vegan crap. But vegan is, yeah, I've had fermented and potted meat before.
That's funny.
A lot of people have had kimchi, which is the fermented cabbage. Comes out of Korea, right? They take the cabbage, they take the peppers, and then they, you know, they take the brine and they put it underground for 3 months, 6 months, a year, depending on the age. We've had kimchi many times at Korean restaurants when we go to sample. Very delicious. They also do that with meat. Now, I don't want you screaming and putting it on a highlight reel, but dog and cat get fermented and put in the jars, in the clay pots and stuff like that. Don't hate me.
See,
okay? When you're a guest in somebody's house, you eat.
Alligators drag their bodies down and dig him under, way down under, and let it ripen. And come back months later, and when it's just right, they'll eat it.
Delicious. Instead of leg of mutton, it's leg of mutton. That's what it is. Let that sink in a bit.
I gotta say one thing. I used to all my life despise vegan, vegetarian food and all that stuff. And now I've actually eaten a couple of times in a restaurant some really good vegan food. And there's nothing wrong with occasionally having some vegan food. But not all the time, because
that's funny, Uber. That's funny as hell.
Because you do need the animal
You know,
protein.
side chat slut. I love you, honey, but that's one question I'm not gonna answer that one only because it'll get me into trouble on here. Because I live in the Occidental, right? You have the Oriental and the Occidental. We're on the Occidental side here, okay? The Oriental side is a totally different way of looking at life. Okay, it's a totally different way of speaking. It's a totally different way of familial relationships, a whole different way of eating, interacting, working. So, you know, I always tried to have an appreciation for, you know, the Occidental, but also the Oriental and their way of doing things. Thank you, Side Chat Slut. So, you know, if you're raised a certain way, that's all you know, right? You only know what you can know. You don't know anything else. You don't know what different customs. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. JK NoCal, Allah Allah snack bar, my friend. Nice to see you. That's funny, Uber Goober. That's funny. Just a different way of living. Isn't that right, Kitty Barnett will tell you, just a totally different way of living. And I don't ever, that's why I never look down. Yeah, the Yulin Dog Meat Festival has only been happening since 2010. It's going to be ending. Yeah, JK NoCal has an epic green thumb. I would say so. I would definitely say so. Well, we're going to go ahead and throw a wrap on this. We got some stuff to get accomplished here before we roll out. And yeah, we get out to the Harvest Fair. I will be going live from the Harvest Fair. You'll be able to enjoy the Sonoma County Harvest Fair, which encompasses everything from things that come out of the ground. I think also baked goods, Missy Jen. A lot of wines that are showcased. We have a tremendous wine industry here, as you can imagine. Napa and Sonoma counties are the two premier wine.
Fruits, nuts, vegetables.
That's it. Coop says throw a wrap on that and light it on fire. Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Thank you, Side Chat Slut.
I'm hoping the antique cars are over there too. A little difficult wheeling Missy Jen across the grass if there are, but we'll try to make that.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to grasp.
We'll try to make that happen. And I want to thank you, Mark and Susie and Uber Goober Lady, for popping by. And Uber Goober, Friday, you ought to do your Friday stream, honey. Bottle it all up during the week and just call it Let Her Rip and go. And blow those socks off of people. Blow those wigs off their head.
It's going to be a harvest festival.
Yeah, hi, Jordan Blue.
Jordan, harvest.
Gonna need some cheese.
Everything about the apples.
Hi, Vicky. Just heading out, Vicky.
And grapes and all that good stuff. Hi, Vicky.
Thank you, guys. If you haven't, take a second to
smash that thumbs up.
Push the thumbs up button. Show a little love our way.
Hit it hard.
And we'll see you guys in a little while. Don't forget,
Susie.
we got Friday night restaurant review coming up. The special edition with Bobby going to his favorite restaurant. Take care, Joe King. Good to see you as per.
Hugs, love, and kisses
Jordan
to each
Blue.
and every one of you.
Yeah. Not another reef. That's it. Love you guys. Take care, Harvey. Fruit Pig. Vicky, Victoria. Thank you, honey. Love you guys. Uber Goober Lady. Keep on trucking. You inspire many people. Have a good day.